Ladies and gentlemen, it's 11 a.m. in the morning. I don't know why Glint chose this specific hour, but here we are for yet another amazing edition of the Nowhere Show. I'm so happy that you guys were able to pop in and check us out. So, I want to say welcome and again, bienvenue, merci beaucoup for being here. Like, I don't know what to say. But today we got Revamped Glint. The purpose, for those of you guys who do not know what the Nowhere Show is, the Nowhere Show highlights everyday individuals and also not so everyday individuals. I feel like in the world you have a lot of self-help books written by people who have been there, done that, and it's difficult. Hannah, can you close the door right there? I totally forgot to do that.
Bye.
All right, Tommy, what up? And so, yeah, you have a thousand self-help books out there that deal with very successful people who have been there, done that. They're done with their grind. They've become successful, and so now what they're doing is they're writing a book to tell you about their story and how they got through to where they're at, right? And that's relatable and it helps, but only so much. I think as a society, we don't place enough value on going through the grind with someone. So I try to get with people who have dreams and who are doing stuff in real life, and they have to balance their responsibilities to real life with chasing after their passion. So Glint's a father, he's a husband, right? He's a father, yeah. He's a husband, he's got a full-time job, he's a streamer, and he has passions and goals in life, and he's trying to balance all of those things. And so his perspective in the middle of the grind is completely different than the perspective of somebody who has already been there and done that. And as a community, right, when you hang around other people who are grinding at the same time, it has a totally different effect on you than if you're just sitting underneath a mentor who has been there, done that. So if I'm mentoring you one-on-one and you're in the middle of the grind and I'm just giving you advice, you might listen to me and hear me because you know I've been there, done that. But if you're in the grind side by side with somebody and they say, yo, this is a struggle, this is how I'm dealing with it right now, this is how I'm making progress, it just hits different. And that's what I want to provide with this show. The other aspect is when you deal with somebody who is established, again, Glint is also a good example of that. Although he's in the middle of his grind, as a stream, he's light years ahead a lot of other people who are streaming. He's in denial and he won't admit it, but he's on the road to partner right now. You know, he's not going to come out and say that. He's on the road to partner right now, and he doesn't want to look at that. But and
we'll talk about that. We can talk about that for sure.
It gives people like Glint or the other person that I interviewed last. His name was Dex, and Dex is the media director for the Boston Bruins hockey team. So he works like 100 hours a week sometimes. And so his whole life is hockey. It gives people like that an opportunity to talk about things that they don't have time to talk about. And so I want to give space for everyone. Like what I told Glint and what I tell everybody is like the interview's about you. It's about giving you space to reach out to your community and chat with them. And for you to just like, it's a safe space. It's nowhere.
I feel that.
And so the concept,
we need more safe spaces, 100%. So
right,
I'm down.
And so, I'm Mr. Wilson, also known as not Mrs. My wife is Mrs. Wilson, and we call ourselves the Nobodies. You say nobody loves you, nobody cares, nobody sees you. Well, they do. Mr. and Mrs. Nobody love you. Mr. and Mrs. Nobody see you. Right? We're out here. Right. We're the nobodies that care, and we want to take care of people and get to know you. So, yeah. And I'm gonna take 10 seconds to announce about the new Discord that I just started, the Nowhere Show. You can do !Discord and check out our new channel. I'm ambitious about creating a community called Nowhere. A lot of times, people like Glint and I and other people in the chat, I'm sure you have an idea, and people will look at you and be like, that's not going to fly anywhere. You're right. So I'm going to nowhere. I'm nobody. I'm doing nothing. I'm not going nowhere. And so that's what the concept of nowhere is. You can blah blah all you want, talk about what I'm doing, but I personally in my life have set goals and achieved goals that people have said would never happen. And so now I want to create a space where I can help inspire other people to do the same. And that's what the Nowhere Show is about. in a
Oh
gist.
yeah.
So that being said, I'm super hyped to welcome you guys and to introduce today Revamped Glint, who
What it do?
randomly discovered by browsing the streams. And Glint is by far, like, at this point in my life and in my stream career, when I met him, I had no idea that there were other streamers who were like this, like, who are very positive, uplifting. For the most part, he's clean, and his message is so clear. And I popped in the middle of him and the community having this psychological discussion, like talking about serious stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that community is awesome. It's unreal. And then I popped into another stream later and literally shouting out, like, I've never met a streamer who took an entire 3 hour, 4 hour stream to watch all the people that are in his community and say, hey, let's check out this person's stream. And I think the opportunity to have a conversation about building that community, or and just get to know you, because I know you hoop and we've had random discussions. I'm just excited to be able to take a, a a more dedicated conversation and look into Glint, of
Mhm.
both for myself. The show thrives and works because I have a genuine curiosity, and for those of you from his community who have decided to pop in, and for those from my community. And like I said, there's a massive amount of wisdom that comes from these streams, because I mean, that's the type of people we hang out with, you know. And when you have
Definitely.
genuine conversation for an hour, knowledge is going to come out. So
For
I've
sure.
talked enough. I'm gonna find this passage that I wanted to read to y'all, and I'm gonna let Glint say hi and say whatever he wants to say. And oh, and Mrs. Wilson, my wife, is also here. She's gonna be participating. Surprise for those of you who have been to my show several times. Mrs. Wilson's first ever appearance on the Nowhere Show. I can't get her to let me interview her,
Let's
but she's here
go.
to interview with me.
Hi.
So,
Hey, Mrs. Wilson.
so yeah, the mic is yours, my dude. Say hi.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what it do? How's everyone doing? Good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Tuesday. Um, yeah, Mr. Wilson hit me up a week and a half, 2 weeks ago to talk about doing an interview. And I'm always a big fan of people using their platforms to get to know others and to grow and to build and to showcase other people. You guys know 100%. I'm I do have goals and I want to accomplish some things in life, but one of the most important things he said is togetherness, and that's why I love looking at your streams. Is never to analyze or break down your streams or to review your VODs, because who am I? You know what I'm saying? But a fan. I'm a fan of your talent. I'm a fan of your hard work, and I'm a fan of your education, because you guys know so much that I don't know. So I am super super grateful to have come across so many amazing people, and I just hope it continues. You know what I'm saying? I really hope it continues, and we grow together as one, because it's a team thing. We can all make it as a team, no matter what other people say. So my name is Revamp Glint. Some people call me Eric, some people call me Glint. um but yeah, I just I'm a big fan of you all, so
All right. So we're gonna read a page out of the little book of mindfulness, and
no, you got a bot that she's stiff trying to see if they could ban.
she's stiff. I'm gonna mod you, bro, because I know you, so you can ban whoever you want. I don't ban any freaking bots. Oh, you can ban? There's no way you can ban. You're just a VIP.
Yeah, I don't think they have it.
Ban, and then I gotta. Oh, I could just right click him. What am I doing? Ban. There we go. All right. So, little book of mindfulness today says. Let me get my e-reader voice out. Just kidding. Understand yourself. Mindfulness enables you to be more aware of your body and is the key to understanding yourself. Mindfulness means being focused on your actions, which helps you to act with purpose. When you act with purpose, your thought processes become clearer to you. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, says Aristotle. Eee. All right. Who is it? dun. I found that passage, and then we're gonna jump into the interview for real, for real. And
All right.
I was asked, does this book and does the like? It's a book called The Five Rings. It's about strategy and fighting. And I was asked if this applies to 1v1 in Rocket League. And I'm about to hit you guys like this man Musashi is undefeated. And just listen to this. The 3 ways to engage the enemy. The first method is to attack. This is called Ken no Sen, or to set him up. The second method is to hold him off as he attacks. This is called Tai no Sen, or waiting for him to take the initiative. The third method is to attack at the same time as the enemy. This is called Tai Tai no Sen, or to both accompany and forestall him at once. These are the only methods to begin the fight. There are no others. It is possible to be victorious quite quickly if you take the lead at the beginning. So this is very important in strategy. Each of these initiatives has differing characteristics. You must take up the best one for the situation. You must sense the enemy's spirit so that you will know which strategy will beat him. I cannot write about this in great detail. I can't ramble about it again because I already did it yesterday. But I'm gonna just say, knowing the enemy's spirit, especially if we're talking about 1v1 Rocket League, and then selecting a strategy to defeat him. And literally, like, it's either you're attacking first, you're attacking at the same time as him, or you're allowing him to attack first. And those are the only 3 ways that you can approach the ball in any Rocket League match. Are you gonna beat him to the ball? Are you gonna accept the second touch? Or are you gonna 50-50 him? And it's like, but yeah, we try to complicate Rocket League when it's really that simple.
Yeah.
All right. drop your epic IDs, and we will get this viewer lobby started. Glint, what I really wanted to discuss with you is, to start, obviously, is a good starting point, is the inception of the stream, the beginning of you as a streamer. So let's first of all start with tell me about your history as a gamer. Like, when did you start gaming? What was the first game you played, and what about that game got you hooked on gaming? That kind of stuff. I'm ready.
Okay. So I was just having this conversation with my mom, because she is actually the reason I play games today. She for 5 years I was the only child, and my dad was in the military, so me and my mom did everything together. And I had a Nintendo, Sega, Super Nintendo, and we played Sonic, Mario. And I remember she bought me the Power Rangers game on Sega. Remember going through that and beating that. But I didn't really start gaming until I got a Dreamcast.
Uh-oh.
And we went to Circuit City on Black Friday, and we got a Dreamcast. I also had a Nintendo 64 that she bought on Black Friday, I believe. Circuit City purchase. And when we got the Dreamcast, 2K had just come around, and me and my brothers would play that, and me and my cousins would play that. But
on Dreamcast?
Yeah.
I can't imagine playing 2K on a Dreamcast, bro. Hold on.
The original 2Ks, yeah, with Allen Iverson on the cover. He was the cover athlete for 3 years.
I just saw that on Facebook the other day too, but like,
yeah,
that's crazy. And he was on the cover for 3 years, bro.
Yeah.
Allen AI is goated in 2K. What?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he never won a championship, because of the 2K curse.
Don't do that,
bro.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
AI was a beast.
You know I'm in Philly, and you know I'm a Sixers fan. Don't do that.
Oh man.
But then when I started making my own money and I was able to purchase PlayStation and Xbox, I got hooked to Call of Duty, the competitiveness of Call of Duty, the original Modern Warfare. And I grinded, and I got pretty good, and would play in lobbies with my best friend. My favorite Call of Duty is World at War. Yeah, that's my my mom is the reason I game today. And Call of Duty is why I'm competitive at gaming.
What about Call of Duty's competitiveness appeal to you? Like, I guess is a good question. Like, here's a better first question. describe your sense of competitiveness.
For a long time, for a long time, I uh I was a sore loser. I was a sore loser. I hate basketball. Basketball was such a sore loser because I felt like I was putting 100% in the game and we would lose and I would take it personal. Like it was all my fault. You know, my teammates always trusted me to win the game and the score because I'm a shooter. And my cousin actually instilled in me the killer instinct to take the last shot and to look for the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to pass me the ball no matter what. And you know, they counted on me. So, but it wasn't till I learned that you learn a lot more in losing that my game elevated and I became a better team player. So that's where the competitiveness comes from. And so it same thing with Call of Duty. Like I'm putting time and hours into this game and I'm getting good. So, you know, when we lose, it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been like that. I've always taken the blame for the losses. I've always softened the blow for the teammates because, you know, sometimes they weren't as mentally strong as I was. But it wasn't until I learned that you learn more in your losses than you do in your wins that I became a better team player. And I love passing the ball now. I love being a playmaker.
There's two things that I hear in that. Especially like you sound like you play a guard position. But maybe a forward. But anyways.
Yeah, more 2-3.
Right.
But I could play every position because, you know, when I was in 8th grade, I was the tallest kid in the class, so I had to play center.
Right. LeBron.
So that was you know, but I could run the point too. I could handle the ball.
You have a guard mentality. But what I hear there is like when I deal with my kids so I coach AAU, and the way that I approach AAU is and the way our organization honestly approaches it is like AAU is prep. Like you have 2 or 3 seasons where you play AAU if you're playing year round, and it's all prep ultimately for the kid to play college if they're going to have an opportunity to play college.
Right.
So we are just a part of the development process. And so something I like that I have to deal with when it's up here, boys, Will Kill 91. Something that I have to deal with kids in the 8th grade and 9th grade and the lower grades, right? And even all the way up to grown is teaching them to be willing to attack and to not feel guilty about shooting your shot. And as a society, we make people feel guilty for shooting their shot. You know what I mean?
We always do.
So I have to break that. So when I coach kids, like I have a 5-out offense or a 4-out offense, we run sets, but a lot of the times it's about teaching the child how to read the game, how to approach the game, and how to be willing to shoot your shot. And then once I get them to the confidence where they're heaving, now we can start talking about shot selection. So there's that.
And Blue Okami said something really, really important. Really important. Sixers never gave my dog AI a team. Never gave him a team. We can stand on that. He had Dikembe Mutombo damn near at the end of his career. So we just got to unpack that real quick because he's absolutely right. And he carried the whole squad to the finals. The whole squad on his back. He's the reason we have carrying squads on your back because AI literally. But I digress. We're talking about other stuff here.
Right. No, you're good.
Mindless.
No, basketball's good, bro.
Mindless. Don't do
Eric Snow,
Don't
bro.
do that. I'm about to leave. Interview over.
We out, bro.
Mindless broken.
Yeah, so there's that concept of shooting your shot, and then genuine self-analysis, right? Recognizing that yo, coach, I coached middle school for like a year. I agree about shooting your shot, right? So there's shooting your shot, there's developing that confidence, and like I'll tell a kid in a heartbeat, like I had this kid on my team who he will shoot every opportunity he gets in transition, whether it be a 3 or a mid-range, and I'm like, dude, if you're gonna shoot that shot at your tryouts, you better hit it, because every coach is gonna say that's a dumb shot, so you better go down the court and knock that down 3 times out of 4 or 5, because that's the only reason they're gonna look at you, like, because it's a bad shot. But, you know, coaches don't, like, a smart coach is going to see a dude who's willing to shoot a shot. And if you hit it over the double team 3 times in a row, he's going to be like, okay, maybe he's got something. But
let me ask you this then.
Okay.
Do you feel like players are born with that dog mentality? Because, like, my oldest, she plays, and it's hard for her to, like, be aggressive. You know, that defensive aggressiveness that like you and I might have, because
Mhm.
you know I played in the park. I'm sure you played in the park with a lot of people and getting knocked down, pushed around. So you got to come back stronger every
Right.
time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But kids nowadays, they're so used to the organized basketball environment that they don't. A lot of the kids don't come to the court with that dog in them. You know?
I think um so I'm a man of faith, but I also think this is reality, right? Even if you're just science and to me, science and faith work together. So this is a scientific thing, but also a faith thing, right? I think that human beings are like you are born with instinct, right? And
Mm-hmm.
instinct is something that is honed by society, and by environment. So I think that
Okay.
every person has the capacity to be a certain way. Um, there are, I'll shoot you an invite, mindless, again. I think there are two things to consider. There's capacity and tendency.
Okay.
And both of these things, like you not just your natural wiring from your genes, and then your environment shape out what is already in you, which is a tendency that you might have and your capacity. And so I think everybody, when placed in the correct environment, you know, it can be honed and brought out. And that's the difference,
Yeah.
right, between a good teacher and a bad teacher. A good teacher is a student of the student. A good teacher is studying the person that they're working with in order to discover how they can draw out the desired result. Obviously, there are kids that are going to be much more difficult to deal with, but when you understand the way that their brain ticks and what motivates them, and how they respond to intensity, you can place them in situations that will give them the opportunity and the experience needed to become intense, right? And intense is a funny word because one man's intensity is displayed differently from another man's intensity. Like you can have a dude who's super hype and screams and yells, and then you can have another dude who's boiling at the same level, but he's never going to say a word. And so,
Right.
like, that's what I mean. Like, you have to be able to look at who you're dealing with. And I think
For
that
sure.
definitely I agree, that there are a lot of kids who do not have the same dog mentality that you get from street ball. But there are also a lot of kids who do have it, and a good, a very good organized coach who is creating Division One caliber players. Okay, a Division One caliber player is gonna walk onto a basketball court in just the average park and mop the floor,
Yeah.
right? And that's because they have an understanding of principle. And
And I don't think players are born at all,
Nah.
Tommy. I was just
Right.
yeah, I don't yeah, it's a lot of hard work.
You're born with
For
the
sure.
capacity, right? And you might be born with a different level of talent, but I think that all players are born with capacity, but they definitely have to be sharpened and shaped. Even LeBron has all of this talent and freak athleticism, but the man puts massive amounts of hours and mentorship into his game to be who he is today.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think, yeah, like there's some kids are cerebral and some kids are animal, right? Some kids think a lot and some kids just play. And when you get to understand that about the kid, it makes a big difference in how you approach the way you coach them. So like it might not be a lack of intensity, it just might be like their style is to float around contact rather than initiate it. You know, like and yeah, I don't know. That's a lot. You asked me a very interesting question. So-
Tommy, I'm not sure what the positivist theory is. I never heard of it.
I'm curious too. I invited Mindless twice now, and I don't know why it's not working.
It's all right. Is he on?
Yeah, he's on.
Let me see if I can invite.
But so what I was leading into was a switch, and this is like to answer your question and to go to my next question with Glint is you gotta find the switch. Is he already in here and I'm just a moron? He is. I'm a moron. Yo, we need one more to make 6 for this. People, FYI, guys. Or you know what? I can spectate a 2v2. Hannah's been real quiet. I think she's doing
How
something.
would you motivate a kid to have the dog mentality? Yeah,
That's
I
what
don't know.
we're about to get into.
That's what I've been thinking about.
I don't think you motivate passion. Like that
Yeah, I
has to
don't
be
think
just
so either.
something that's in them. And if they
Like-
don't have passion for it, then that's not what they're supposed
Oh
to be
God,
doing.
no! Don't join.
Yeah.
Or we can play in the
Yeah.
throwback stadium.
Like with my oldest, I've seen her switch gears when something happens. Like she'll set a screen and she'll come around it and cut and she'll get knocked down, and then she's like she like something snaps, and then she's all into defense, like she's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? She's in it, you know, different experiences unlock that sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's like, you got to be willing to place your team in difficult situations and then teach them how to handle those difficult situations. So again, it's like there's the process of every child is motivated. There's not a child that's not motivated, right? And a child that's unmotivated has been disappointed to the point where, like, Glint and I have been talking about this in our last couple streams about the concept of hope and losing hope and what losing hope will do to you. And losing hope as an athlete will paralyze you, or as a person will paralyze you and make you not want to move. And that's what you have when you look at a child and you say he's unmotivated. The reality is the child has lost hope. The child has no reason to be motivated. And so when you can figure out what it is that motivates the athlete, and it might just be fun, you know what I mean? Like teaching kids how to enjoy the game, and then teaching kids to like enjoy the process, and yeah, like, dude, this question, the answer to this question is on a kid-to-kid basis. That's the problem that I'm having with explaining it. So here's a good example. One of my point guards, he's a very good guard. He can handle the ball, he can shoot, he can drive, right? Yeah. But when we first saw him, the only aspect of his game that I saw was his ability to take care of the basketball. We started having conversations, and so his motivation, right, is taking care of the ball. And rather than tell him, hey, be more aggressive, blah, 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 I sat him down and I was like, listen, dude, part of being a guard and handling the bar for your team and taking care of our possessions is being aggressive when it's necessary. I need you as a point guard to be aggressive during certain situations. That's what taking care of the ball means to me.
Welcome back, dude.
Welcome back. And so, like, that was the beginning of the click. And so this kid went from just taking care of the ball to, in the last two games we played this past Sunday, he had 15 points and 6, 7, 8, 9 assists in both games.
Nice.
Because we just made that concept click that an aggressive point guard is a good point guard. And like, we did a one-on-one session and I talked to his dad, and his dad was like, hey, we've been talking about whether or not he should be shooting more, and you don't have to answer right now, but I just wondered what your opinion was. And I'm just sitting there nodding my head. I'm like, dude, if you're a point guard, I'm expecting you to put up 10 shots, 15 shots. Because, like, let's say you have a shooting guard who has possession 10 times, and he shoots 10 times out of 10 because he's a shooting guard, and the point guard handles the ball 100 times. If out of 100 possessions you only take 10 shots, like, your usage rate is extremely low. But
he bounced mindless.
So that was a trigger moment for that kid. And so, like, you as a competitor, Glint, you talked about learning that losing is a good thing. I want to hear, like, what's the story? Can you point to a moment where that lesson became reality for you?
Yeah, Jesus. When I was in high school, right, we had these tournaments. Basketball tournaments, and you know, the gym teacher was responsible for picking the teams and everything. And you know, this was we were waiting for this. Like, all of the basketball players in my class were waiting for this moment. Like, who gets bragging rights? I made it to the championship. I led my team to the championship. Well, we did two basketball tournaments. We did the one fall one and I think one winter one. We did one, made it to the chip, and we lost to a team that I just don't believe we should have lost to. And, I was like, all right, it took me a while to get over that. And then we had our winter one, and I lost to my best friend. And
we're not friends no more. That's what Glint says these days. I can't be friends with you no more.
Well, funny thing is, we aren't as close as we used to, but I mean, it happens. It happens in life. Some people are only there for a season, and I wish him all the best. But yeah, he's not really a part of my life anymore, which is fine. It's unfortunate, but it's fine. I understand it. But yeah, those moments I took losing so hard, dude, so hard.
And so
go ahead.
What triggered after the losses, I guess is what I'm getting at. Like, how did you learn from those losses that transitioned your mindset?
That even though I'm the leader and I do everything in my power to win, sometimes you're just not going to win. So when it came to the losses, I was like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I'm scoring, I'm getting rebounds, I'm playing defense. And then when I started to make my team better by being a better playmaker and a better passer, and body language and attitude has everything to do with sports as well. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone's watching you. That's when, I started to win more and take the losses so much better.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah, as a learning experience to recognize the transition from everything's on my shoulders, I'm the reason why we win or lose, to recognizing that there are 4 other dudes on the court carrying the burden with you. And back to our original conversation, right? Shouldering it together and the togetherness. And yeah, because when you got 5 people with that mindset, now you're driven as a unit, which is completely different. And the togetherness is powerful. Love it, dude. Right. That's cool. Right. What if you do not have access to resources to achieve your passion? I think you need to reevaluate your goals. And this is like, I'm gonna be mean right now and honest. The poverty mindset applies to all people. And so if you have a dream that you can't achieve because of a certain lack of resources, the lack of resources is real. I'm not going to sit here and say that lack of resources isn't a problem. It's reality. However, the mindset approaching that is a poverty mindset. A person who has a poverty mindset says, I don't have, I never will have, and therefore I will not achieve. But we know that this isn't fact, because there are a number of people who have made it out of all life situations and achieved. And yes, their stories might be few and far between, but do they have to be? We'll never know, because there are a lot of people who are not in that mindset to try and get out of the place that they're in. So
yeah, I think it depends. I think it depends, because I could never sit here and say everyone gets the same opportunities as everyone else. But yeah, because it's just not true. It's just not true. So there are some people in life that do not get those opportunities, and unfortunately their passions are not filtered in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like I used to take it really hard as a kid, because I used to be there for my homies all the time. And that's when I was in eighth and ninth grade. That's when I learned that no matter what, leaders are leaders and some aren't. I used to walk around my school every day just to clear my head, get my life together. And I never used to talk about my issues, because my best friend, he didn't have I had a few friends that didn't have both their parents in their life. So I thought that my issues weren't worth speaking of, because I had both parents in my life. I was raised in a church, so I would mask all my issues and I would never talk about them. I would just try to be strong and carry the weight of the world because for my friends, And so I'm not a person that could hold in my emotions. So there's just a lot of people that just don't get that opportunity to express themselves or go to get the resources like books and school supplies, little things like that, and internships, and missing out on a lot because they don't get the same opportunity.
I think this server just sucks. I think so. The term resources, right? This is a good example.
That's dope. That's dope, Miley.
People, yeah, losing checkers. I think people, when you use the term resources, there's a certain person who's gonna think money and objects automatically, and for me, resources like finances and assets are things that you gain through stewardship and wisdom and using what you already have properly. And I think that the resource that is missing the most from people's lives who don't have money and whatnot is education. Like we pour money and we pour like programs and stuff like that into a lot of things, but I think more money could be spent on teaching people how to use money at all levels of wealth, because there are a lot of rich people who are massively in debt in our country and this, that, and the other. But like my original statement was, you have to reevaluate where you are and what your goals should be. And a lot of people can't do that because they don't have, like you said, somebody there to tell them to reevaluate. So if you're in a situation where you want to play basketball and try out for your team, but you don't have a hoop to practice at, but you can get a hold of a basketball, you can still work on something and you still have something that you can work for. But a lot of people are going to get stuck in the mindset that I can't practice shooting, I can't practice this, I can't do that. And so they never get to the point where they look at it and be like, okay, I have the time to work on my defense, to work on my footwork, to work on my body strength, because they're so caught up on the fact that they don't have a hoop.
Right.
And if you don't have somebody in your life that is capable of teaching you how to reevaluate your goals and see what it is you are capable of doing, you're going to spend your life focused on the things you can't do.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
And so, yeah. And again, like all this, I agree on like everything that you said. All of it is 100% true. I don't have a disagreement there at all. But I think that the way we as society approach those situations needs to change. Big time.
For sure.
Gotta use what you can. You can become an elite ball. Yeah, exactly. Without a hoop or whatever. You can do a lot. There are people who get paid. Dennis Rodman got paid millions of dollars to play for the Bulls, and all he did was rebound the ball.
Facts.
Don't want to interrupt, but do you post these in YouTubes? Are the audio versions, or I can listen to at work? I'm caught up on all my podcasts. Yeah, so I'm not recording this right now, but I will download the VOD. And this is
I wanted to, if possible.
Yeah, what I want to do in the future when I finally get everything up to speed, because the production, like, if the production's not good, the quality suffers a lot when you're listening to just the recording. So there's a lot of cutting and stuff that has to do. Like, for example, like if I download this VOD right now, there's a 3-hour clip or 2-hour clip where we're just playing games. So I got to cut that clip out before so that, you know, when you come into the podcast, you don't have to listen to 3 hours of video games first. But yes, to answer your question, yes, I will make the VOD available, and I will take the time to cut it and clip it so that you guys can have a download available as well. And I do want that for all of my interviews. I'm just bad at remembering and producing it properly, so that's why I need a team. I don't have the team yet, and when I get the team together, the podcast and all that stuff is going to be better. Yee. He played his role, yes. So, you jump into Call of Duty. Call of Duty becomes your competitive video game. And so, short question, short answer. Do you start playing Call of Duty before your mindset change or after?
Before.
Okay, so before. Did you have a similar moment for Call of Duty where you were like, winning doesn't depend on me in this game, I need to use my team better? Or did you continue to treat Call of Duty the same? Write it down.
No, I didn't really.
Oh, you're right.
I think it's easier to deal with having a bad game in Call of Duty than to having a bad game in in basketball for me, because it was so personal. Basketball for me was so personal, was so therapeutic and healing, and being on the court, I just never thought about anything I was going through. Oh, good demo, great demo. And when it came to Call of Duty, you just knew that like the hate that you get in a video game was the internet, because people used to say any and everything out of their mouth when they were getting beat. It used to be pretty comical. So I didn't really apply that. I didn't have to apply that to video games, because although I was very competitive, to me it was just a game that I wanted to be good at.
Okay, so that's interesting. So you just enjoyed it. You enjoyed being competitive, but it was. Describe to me the difference between wanting to be good at basketball and wanting to be good at Call of Duty or a game.
The game for me wasn't as, like, with basketball, it's physical and mental. So the work is like a double-edged sword as far as work goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to get up, I have to go to the park, I have to pick up the ball, I have to get better with running, strength, endurance, stamina. There's so much that goes into my plate as far as basketball than it did in gaming. That
So it just meant more to you.
Yeah.
You had a different level of attachment. Okay.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, if I wasn't playing ball, I was gaming. If I wasn't gaming, I was playing ball until I started working.
So would you say that the video gaming was a retreat for you then from basketball? Or
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
So, but you also said that basketball is a place where you could kind of drift off from the stuff that was going on in real life, yeah? Like you just forgot about what's going
100%.
on. That's interesting.
100%.
I think
when I would go through certain things, I would hit up my best friend at midnight, and we'd go to the park that we would always go to and just talk and just play ball. We would play one-on-one, just shoot around and just talk about whatever was going on, and it was cool, because we would start off talking and then we would end up in the game and we would get really competitive. It was fun.
I think something else that's that I gleaned from that's interesting that gets overlooked is how basketball is work. And every time a competitor steps onto the court, he's working. He's in the mindset, even if it's just to shoot around. Like, there's something stress relieving about the process of becoming better at something that you love, right? It relieves pressure from your shoulders to see progress. Like Mindless says, it's easier to see progress in basketball than in a game, and that's the good word. It's satisfying to make progress, and the satisfaction takes away from pain and whatnot that you're dealing with in real life. It's meditative, and as a society, right, the way that we paint work and getting money and chasing the bag in society takes away the meditativeness of having a job, because we're often not just forced. What do I want to say? We're forced into believing that you have to have a certain job to provide certain means. And so reality is, if you're okay with a certain lifestyle, and then you can have a job that provides for that lifestyle that you like if you're willing to look for it. But if you want to have a certain lifestyle and you don't have the level of capability or desire to grind to make your passion pay for that lifestyle, then you're gonna have to deal with a job that you don't want to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is, I couldn't have said that better myself. Actors, celebrities,
right?
The people that act in movies and record music, they do whatever it is to get them there.
Right.
They sacrifice whatever they need to sacrifice to get there. They're not better than anybody. They just did something different to filter their passion to get them where they want it to be. That's it. That's why I don't put any status on them, like, oh, they're this person and they're that person, because they're just a person that wanted a different job.
Right.
So they did whatever they had to do
Right.
to get that job.
It's
Honestly.
yeah, that's like a big takeaway for me from the show is, like, I believe everybody can be paid for their passion. I'm a huge fan of Dave Ramsey. And Dave Ramsey runs a thing called Financial Peace, and he's like, this is a man who went completely bankrupt, right? With kids, had a family, had kids, went bankrupt, woke up, realized his lifestyle was terrible, and now he's a multi-million dollar man teaching other people how to stay out of debt and become millionaires. Everyday millionaires is what he calls them. But he's connected to this other dude who's a Ramsey personality who says, where your passion meets your talent is the sweet spot as a worker. Right. And so if you can find a job where your passion meets your talent, you will be in your sweet spot and you will love what you do. Gordon Ramsay, that's funny. And so passion being things that you love to do, talent being things that you're good at. So if, like, let's take streaming for example. I'm passionate about people. I'm good at video games. And when I do those two things together, it creates the opportunity to have a community, to have a product. Like right now, we're doing the two things I'm good at. And we got people in the show. And like, again, in our society, we don't take time to teach children to look at themselves, to self-analyze, to reflect. We want to put, like, school is 8 hours for a reason, people. We want to push kids through school to teach them how to be organized within the format of life that America functions in, right? And so, and during that time, if they don't have the right influence around them, they will never recognize that they can spend 8 hours a day doing what they love and are good at. I'm for that. I'm for that. Right.
But how many times are we gonna take the same maths and stuff? Me and Miss Wilson are all just. Yeah. I'm just hitting her consistently. I'm so sorry. How many times are we gonna take English? You know, the same English. How many times are we gonna take the same math? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why, like, personally, I'll keep it a whole 100. I went to school, but I feel like it is a scam. Like, I'm paying thousands of dollars to take reading and math and do papers that I've been doing.
Right.
You know?
Right. And the problem, I think the disconnect is, you have some great teachers out there that do this, but as a system, our schooling as a system does not teach you how to connect what you're learning to real life.
Exactly.
And like another prime example is, like, I've traveled the world. I think Glint's done some traveling with the military. But like, kids in other countries come out of high school learning, and they know 3 different languages. Because other countries around the world understand the value of language.
Facts. Blue Okami, facts. Tommy, big facts, man. Big facts. I'm in debt, and I still don't have a job in the field I wanted to be in, which is fine because, you know, it's supply and demand, personal supply and demand, and workforce supply and demand. I get it, but still, like, what? Paying all this money for what?
Right.
And you need experience? What?
Yeah, who was just talking about, was that you just, or was it, I think it was Okami that was talking about the other day, like, you come out of college, you get a degree, but you have to have a bachelor's degree and 5 years of experience. And it's like, I just came out of school, how am I going to get a job? How am I going to have 5 years of experience when I just came out of college with this degree for the entry-level position that you're offering? And to that note,
I just want some milk. I'm sorry.
To that note, what I wanted to say during that stream was, when you're in college and you're entering in college, they're like, people don't discuss internships and how important internships are and how important gaining real life experience is. You have to have internship. Like, if you were like, so there's some kids, first of all, you can go to school, work a full-time job, pay for your 4 years of school while you're in college. Secondly, if you're going to go into debt, you can spend 4 years of college pursuing your degree and doing an internship for your field, gaining the 4 years of experience that you would hypothetically need for a job. But we don't, like, we just send kids to school. We don't tell them, like, this is the field you're pursuing. Not only do you need to get this degree, but this is what you need to do while you're in college. We just ship them off.
But the school does that though. I was just there. They have an internship program where that's part of the curriculum.
Right.
And let me tell you something. My internship did nothing but waste my time and money.
And some, yeah, and
that's not always the case. That's
Right.
not always the case. But I say it all the time on Facebook because I know that some of the people that I'm friends with are still at that workplace. They offered me a job, but did nothing to facilitate that learning requirement that I need. I needed.
Right. And that's pointing again to the broken system that like the institution is responsible for creating the opportunity. He said you guys lost me. Where did we lose you, Steph? Oh, in the game? No, we just lost him completely. Okay. We got 2 people in the stream that are lost. Prince and She-Stiff, you guys like catch up. Let me know what you guys are confused about, and we'll go with it. But yeah, we went on a whole tangent there just now, for sure.
Yeah.
Talking about competitiveness and the difference between games and work, and how work can be something that you enjoy doing if you get into the field that you enjoy and do something that you're good at the same time. It eliminates your frustration versus working a 9-to-5 that you hate and hating 9 hours a day of your life so you can pay bills that you don't have to have. Like, yeah. So,
oh, great save.
Trying to segue here.
Yeah, I'll try to stay on topic.
At what point did you start looking at, like, when did you discover streaming? Not as a streamer, but as a viewer. Were you a viewer first or a streamer first? There's a question I'm trying to ask. Were you a viewer before?
What's up, brother?
Grandpa Gamer, welcome, my dude.
Absolute viewer first.
Okay, viewer first.
Absolute viewer first, 100%. So I don't even know what I was playing last, honestly. But one of my homies was like, "Have you ever heard of PUBG?" Right?
Right.
I said, "Nah, what is that?" It was one of the homies. So after I got out of the active duty army, I went to the reserves because I thought I missed it. Boy, was I wrong. I didn't miss it anymore after that. At all. But one of my homies, his name is Dion Lissamore. He's actually making the switch to active duty now. I credit him with the reason I'm streaming, because he was like, "Yo, you should give it a try. You got the personality." But I was an absolute 100% viewer 100% first. Viewer, watching big streamers play PUBG because I wanted to know what it was about. And my wife actually got me the Xbox bundle for it so I could play it.
Nice.
Because at the time it was only on Xbox.
So you were already married at this time in the military. That's something I want to dive into after this. That's interesting. Anyways, so she got you the Xbox bundle so you could play PUBG.
She got me the Xbox bundle for my birthday. I was out of the military at the time.
Okay.
And I started grinding 2 years. 2 years grinding PUBG and losing, dying, just horrible. And then I met this guy named Justin Martinez, and he's in Brownsville, Texas. Met him in a random game squads match, and he sent me a request to be in the voice chat, the game chat,
right,
or party chat. There we go, party chat, right? He says, I'm glad you accepted my invite, because if you didn't, I was gonna team kill you.
Wow.
And we literally played after that for 2 years. I played with him, his best friend Mikey, who I still play with today, and a lot of their cousins and friends. And they're all in Brownsville, Texas, by the way. It's the funniest thing ever. I text Mikey here and there. I talk to Justin from time to time. But yeah, that's my guys, man. I love those guys, and they were like when they found out I was gonna start streaming, they were behind me 100%. Yeah, I was big viewer on PUBG.
We are playing viewer games, GG. You lost me, I lagged. I'm confused by what you mean by you lost me. So, okay. Let me think here. I wanna talk about, I think my wife, I have a message. Do your computer, no, you can't get into my, no. I'm gonna ask those questions eventually. Stop that. Stop that. Those are my questions, mindless. We're getting there, bro. We are getting there. So, I think a lot of these people are from your community already, so they know each other already. But, yo, shout outs to all of you guys that are in here.
Definitely still in the questions.
I want to throw some. Man, I need a mod so bad. Invite me back to the party. You're in the game still, Stiff. Just in case, though, I'll invite you in case we leave. Sammy Jack, I appreciate the follow. Welcome to the Nowhere Show. I'm glad you could pop in and catch this.
My dog, Sammy.
Yo, there's too many of y'all. I'm overwhelmed. Shout out to all my streamers in the chat. Grandpa Gamer's a streamer. I think Mindless Maze is a streamer. I know Okami's a streamer. All of you guys know each other though, and you're probably all following each other anyway. For those of my viewers who are in here, like She-Stiff, if you're looking for a bunch of positive, awesome people, check these people out, man. Grandpa, Okami, and all these like, but yeah. So also, thank you guys for popping in. While I recollect my brain, we left the match.
Yeah, take your time.
So, I want to sidetrack because did you meet your girl while you were in the military? No.
No, I met my wife at Sears. We worked at Sears together. I was security. And she worked in women's as a merchandise and customer assist.
Okay.
So she would help.
This is my wife's favorite part of the conversation.
And she would fold, clothes. I did merchandise and customer assist when I first started at Sears for men's in the Northeast, but I transferred stores for a full-time position, and that's where I met her at the store that she worked at. And so I was walking around the store one day, and she called security, not knowing that I was a plainclothes security officer.
Stop.
She called security on me and told me I looked pretty suspicious. And
oh my god, yo, this guy's just wandering around the store.
Yeah. And so that's how we met.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how did that conversation go? Like when y'all met each other? I want to hear your side of the story. I wish she was here and Hannah could hear, because Hannah would ask about her side of the side and your side. But when you guys first talked to each other, I'm curious.
There was a girl that worked at Sears and was cool with my wife, and she actually approached me for her and said, you should take my number down. And I wasn't, and not knowing that my wife was finessing, but I didn't really want the girl's number, but I gave it to her because it was a group of people and I didn't want to play her. So, I later found out that it was from my wife. So, it worked out.
I bet that was interesting. So, like, you guys never actually, like talked about that moment, is what I'm saying. Like, that day she didn't come up to you and say, I'm so sorry, or whatever. Like, how did that...
So sorry about what? No, I mean...
Right, she just did her job, right?
You talking about the security?
Yeah.
About it. Yeah, it was funny. It was hilarious. I was like, it's easy not to know. I mean, I get it. I'm walking around. So, yeah, we talked about it. It was funny.
This is where we need the lady in the conversation so we can get the fun details. You can't trust me or any other man for the most part to give the juicy details, man. Oh yeah, we just laughed about it. She gonna come in here and be like, "Oh my God, he said this, and this," and I was...
Oh no, I don't think she would do that. I think she would say the same thing. Like it was funny.
She's chill
Because
like
it
that,
was like she was, you know, it was weird for somebody to to call security on you when you're a security guard. I'm like, well, at least she's doing her job. That's what they said. At least she's doing her job because that's what, you know, that's what they wanted.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So that was, I mean, that was the first time that wasn't the first time I saw her, but that was like the first time we interacted, you know.
That's interesting. See, Okami thinks the same thing. We're gonna give the bland details, and the wifey's gonna give the juice. We're giving the milk. The girls are giving the meat, bro.
Are we talking about milk again? Hold on, I gotta get my baby brother.
I need some
So
milk.
what about her calling security on you? Like, did she ever tell you what about you freaked her out other than just walking
Look,
around?
wife coming in with the save, bro.
Nah, because honestly, I was literally walking up one floor and down to the next, and just walking around the same departments for a good like hour. Because I was sick of being in the office. So that's
Did
just,
you not have like a security uniform or something?
No, he was the
Nah,
plainclothes security.
Plain clothes.
He's the asset protection. He's the dude who's trying to catch you stealing stuff, so he looks like you.
Yeah, yeah.
And she didn't know about you? That's awesome.
Because I didn't. Nobody engages with. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk to
nobody
that dude.
engages with them, you know. I keep it like clean and quiet.
Chill out, wife. You're not allowed to score on me. I see you, bro.
So, you started your relationship in Creepazoid. How did you like get to the point where boyfriend, girlfriend, and then
Right. How do you guys transit? Well, first of
you.
all, I think I gotta clarify. She finessed him, right? So she sent her friend. Her friend says, "Take my number."
Her friend did it on her own. Her friend did it on her own. Was like, "Yo, you should take my number." I was like,
Didn't tell you whose number it was.
okay.
How did you guys discover that you were talking to each other then?
Well, she told me. She told me after that. After we were like talking by
Okay.
ourselves.
Okay.
She was like, yeah, she didn't get the number for her. She got it from me. I said, oh, okay. And then I was like, I'm relieved because I wasn't interested in her. I was interested in my wife.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's funny.
we talked a lot, like, you know, that texting all the time and on the phone. Don't bump me no more. I'm gonna bump you.
You're just sitting there.
I saw that. And then
boop you now.
we talked like
gonna
all
boop
the
you.
time, like all the time.
That's crazy. And then that's so
Like
cool,
the first
man.
movie we went to go see was what's that damn American Gangster
Okay.
with Denzel and
Okay.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah. I haven't
And then
seen
we went
the
to
movie
see
in forever.
Transformers and all type of stuff.
And so, does your wife game too, or does she just support you as a gamer?
Nah, she just supports me as a gamer.
That's awesome, man. Did you guys have to have like a come to Jesus moment conversation, or did you like? Was it always she
What do you
supported
mean?
you gaming? Like, was it always okay, or was it a thing? Did you guys have to like?
No, it's always okay. It's all she is one of the most. I have like a winner in my corner. Like she is absolutely amazing.
I think you're a winner too, though. Like, I think that what a lot of guys who want their space don't understand is you have to treat your woman a certain way in order for her to want to give you space. Like, you can't just be demanding and be a dick. Like, you have to love your wife, and when you love your wife, she will go to the ends of the earth for you. I don't know. I could ramble. Do we got time for another analogy? I got another cool story lesson to teach you guys if you guys want to hear me ramble about another analogy. I got a lot of
Go
these.
for it.
So,
Go for it.
picture yourself in the church, even if you've never been there, right? And there's a preacher on stage, and the preacher is preaching hell and brimstone about marriage. And he's saying the wife is supposed to be meek, she's supposed to be submissive, she's supposed to serve and help the husband, yada yada yada, and be the helper, right? And like a lot of times this message comes off really bad, but like this is just how the Bible preaches it. And so there's three couples in the church that day. Okay, the first one is a woman whose husband is a workaholic, is never home. He spends more time with his job than his family, and it is blatantly displayed to the world. She looks at that man and she says, "No way in hell would I submit to him and serve him." Why would I do that? The second man and wife, the man he's a church guy. He's very strong in his faith, and he loves his wife and his kids, but he spends more time with his ministry. And so he spends more time volunteering at church. He spends more time helping out, doing ministry stuff and whatnot. Now the wife looks at him and she says, he's a good man. I think I could do that, maybe. Okay? And the third man sacrifices his time, his life for his family. And his wife and his family is his ministry. Not only does he love God, love Jesus, and not only is he a hard worker, but he puts his family first. He's always comes home and he shows love, he respects, and he involves them in his missions, and he shows them that they are first in his life and that they matter. Now the wife is sitting there and she's listening to the same message as the other two women, but she looks at him and she says, I would die for this man in a heartbeat. And there's nothing, like, the message doesn't change. What changes is the leadership, right? Is the use of authority. And that's the problem, like, that we have in society is, like, with that particular message of the man and woman are supposed to have roles, right? What I tell my young men all the time is, like, just because the Bible says you're supposed to be the head and a leader, does that mean that you dominate all things? A great leader is the type of person who can say, I'm weak in this area and you are strong. I'm going to allow you to take charge in this area towards the mission that we have as a couple. And there are a lot of, like, when you can do that in your marriage and say you're good here and I'm good here, and you know what I mean, it transforms your marriage, it transforms your relationships, it transforms everything. Le Fax is right. C'est ça, mon gars. She-Stiff, you can do this. I hope. I'm not even going. Let's not talk about dating though, She-Stiff, because that's a whole nother tangent.
Yeah, it is.
Dating.
No, I agree. My wife is an amazing supporter, but I love her ideas are amazing just as much. Like she's an equal partner in this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we've gotten to a place where we just sit back and laugh and then just enjoy the little things. You know?
Right. We should jump into chaos since we got 4. I don't know if anybody else is gonna want to jump in for viewer games anyway.
I just missed that.
Grandpa Gamer says, I feel like the message does not affect those relationships, the people do. I love the analogy of the seed being sown, and I feel like there are a lot of preachers and pastors who get off thinking that it's their job and their responsibility to change people, and they lose themselves in that, and they lose their passion because they don't see. It's hard as a mentor, period, to see fruit because you're not with somebody 24/7, so you have to judge fruit by the change in their lives. But when you become obsessed, right? I've come to a place where I recognize that I can love everybody. I can love everybody, but not everybody wants to be loved. And to be able to learn to recognize who is receiving wisdom and who is rejecting it will save you a lot of time in life. And so there are people that, like, if you're gonna be the type of person that rejects wisdom, I'm not gonna chase you down and try to force feed it to you. I'm gonna give it to you in passing until it clicks and you start to love it. So I think the message just a seed, and like you said, for sure it's the person who has to receive it and make the adjustment. But as Jesus said, or Romans, it was Paul in Romans, he said, you know, how can they accept the good news if they don't hear it? You know what I mean? So full circle moment back to what we were talking about earlier about we don't educate people. How can somebody make a decision with information that they don't have? We suck at providing information as a society. So that's enough sidetracking on your relationship. How did you transition? I'm ready now to dive into it. How did you transition from being a viewer to a streamer? Like, I understand that your boy said, hey, you should check this out, but like, what was your thought process? Like, why did you receive it so positively? And what was like your first stream setup, like stuff like that? Tell us about the original Glint stream, baby. Or was Revamped Glint even your original stream name?
Yep. Revamped Glint since day one, and I owe Xbox for that name.
Yo.
They generated that name for me, and it had to be fate because it's exactly what I've been trying to do since day one of streaming. A renewed sense of light.
That's sick, bro. That's so sick.
And the funny thing is, a streamer defined my name for me. I popped in their stream. I met them on Twitter, wanted to show some love and support, and they told me they hated my name. They told me it sounded. She's like she just didn't like it. She didn't like it at all, and I haven't been to her stream since because the attention she gave my name was just very, very disappointing.
Toxic,
I was just like, wow, like, sorry.
Oh.
And
What was
so
it about your name that?
Yeah, what bothered
I
her?
have no idea.
So she told you what it means and then told you she hated it?
She told me, like, she said it and she was like, I'm gonna look that up. I was like, all right, cool. I said, and when she looked it up, I was like, wow, that's interesting. Thank you for that. And then she said it again and was like, I just don't like how it comes off the tongue. And I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm never coming back here again.
Evidently, she needs to get a new tongue.
Right. Revamped Glint comes out so clear to me.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, dang. It's a.
Yeah, tell him. You tell
It's
him.
the accent. So Revamped Glint means a renewed sense of light. And I just was like, wow, it's meant to be. It had to be.
Like, if
And
you...
so,
Sorry.
so, no, go for it. What did you...
Coffee, bro. Coffee. Revamped, the word revamped means renewed, changed, transformed, whatever. Like, when you go through and refurbish a vehicle, it's revamped. Or it's dramatically transformed. Like, right now, if I went and changed all the graphics on my stream, it would be revamped. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and,
yeah, like Blue Kami said it the other day. He said when he get his PC and everything going, he's gonna revamp his channel a little bit. I said, oh, you're gonna your channel, and we joked about it. It's funny.
It's almost like an upgrade and a transformation at the same time. Like, not only are you changing the stream, but you're taking it to a new level. It's revamped. And like vamp, right? To vamp up. You know what I'm saying? And then glint.
Yeah.
Glint is a shine. It's literally
It's a light.
It's a light, but glint, like when you see something glinting in the distance, it's like the sniper scope in all shooting games. That's a glint. It's popping in your vision. So yeah, that's cool.
Until Dawn had it. Until Dawn had glints that you had to go walk up to, and it was a light in the darkness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
That's so sick.
I was like, it's really cool.
A renewed sense of shine. That's so sick. I'm not gonna be able to double tap this, but she still keeps it up. 0-second goals out here. And my wife does her job and keeps it up. And Revamped is gonna do his job and spike it down. Thanks, Vamp. PTSD from The Last of Us 2 and the sniper.
Man,
Bro, I
that
haven't
was
played Last
crazy.
of Us 2. Dang it.
Uh-oh.
But it's fine.
Spoilers.
It's fine. I can imagine.
But yeah, the setup was. I still have the original camera from my original setup. It was on. What was it? It was on my laptop. I was streaming from my laptop, a laptop that I bought for making music, and I just download Streamlabs OBS. You bought a $30 camera, and and then used the mixer software and the third-party mixer software that they had at the time, and then here and there I would stream from Twitch from my Xbox and stuff like that. And when I got my capture card, that's when I kept the same setup, but just added the overlays. I have my original overlays that I got from Streamlabs. They're purple and gold because of Kobe Bryant.
Let's get it.
Yeah, so not much has changed. Not much has changed. I have a PC. I was using some, I can't remember the company, but I was using these gamer headphones that Choco Taco used because my friend was selling them that I was in the military with for his girlfriend, and he said they were a good brand. So I grabbed the Heisen something. They're a German company.
Sennheisers.
Yeah, Sennheiser. Yeah, thank you.
They're
Sennheiser
a German
won.
company, bro.
Yep.
That is a high quality. That's real. That's what do you call it? Recording. That's a musician brand.
Yeah.
Sennheisers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I bought those.
Studio
Got
quality.
the little adapter I needed for the Xbox controller, and we were just rocking out playing PUBG. So honestly, bro, once he told me he was like, yo, you've been getting a lot of wins. That's what he said.
Oh,
he said, yo,
snap.
you've been getting a lot of wins on PUBG. You should try streaming, dude. And I said, wow, that was a great touch. I said, thank you. I said, okay, that was it. I literally said, okay. And I started researching what I needed. And you said you have a personality for it. You're getting wins, so give it a shot. And that was it. I said, okay, and I was off.
Sick. All right, so I'm about to go AFK in this game. I need to take a potty break, and we're reaching a good time to really dive in. Like, we've got so much backstory. I'm just hyped. We're about to get into the meat, man. All of this has been great, but we're about to get into the meat and talk about the stream and the community and stuff. But I want to be able to give it my full attention. I can't do that with a full bladder, y'all. So I'll BRB.
Not the.
And I don't need a salt lamp, man. I ain't got no demons in my house.
I was gonna bump you, but I can't.
I
We're
saw
on the same.
that.
We're on the same.
I saw the boop coming, and then I saw you change your mind, like inches away from my car.
Yeah, I hit the brakes. Real quick.
So, what is your favorite game to play nowadays?
Rocket League, all day, every day.
Like normal Rocket League, or do you play any other kinds of, what is it called? Extra modes.
So I've been like slowly grinding like different extra moves.
I went to my friend's house.
Hi, Mrs. Glint.
Mrs. Wilson says hi.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh no, this is really cool. Thanks.
Made one right there.
What is that? The shirt you were talking about, or the hoodie?
I had about
Oh, that's really sick. That's really sick. I like that a lot. I paused again. I really like that. Thank you. I'm gonna have to show everybody real quick.
Do it.
Yeah, we got to talk about that anyway today. I said we got to talk about that anyway today. Just a lot of stuff that you need.
She called me 20 orders from my family because of that shirt I made.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so she just went to her friend's house and made this big mug. It says "Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeat."
Ah.
And this hoodie, it says I paused the game to be here.
That mug is sick. I love
Right.
it.
So
And then my
dope.
hoodie.
Thank you. So like I was saying, she's a big supporter. That was perfect timing. Yeah, so I'm getting into a lot of games. Oh, let's go. I'm getting into a lot of games. Rocket League is definitely my favorite. I'm getting into Genshin Impact for sure. I can't wait to play some more of that probably tomorrow. As well as Final Fantasy 14. I got Spider-Man to finish and play on off stream. And Miles Morales is a dope game. So I'm definitely a big fan of the story games. Blue Okami, Kohlberg, and Blue Satire, all those homies, they kind of helped me remember that those games that I loved to play when I was a kid, God of War and stuff, and Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of my all-time favorites. So, but yeah, for the most part, I play a lot of Rocket League. If it's not Rocket League on stream, then it's horror games for the most part. Like The Last of Us I beat. Until Dawn I played, which was a great one. Yeah. Pokemon. I'm getting back into that.
What's been your least favorite game?
What has been my least favorite game? I gotta think about it. What is one that I just haven't returned to? I gotta think about. I gotta look. Let me look real quick. Let me look real quick, and I'm gonna tell you.
You're good.
I'm gonna tell you right away.
What are you doing?
Let me see.
Ah!
That was okay. That was good.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back, my dog. We just talking about games and stuff.
I heard. I'm always creeping. Puppy cam is kind of a big deal. Like, I love being able to walk around with my phone as a camera and stalk my dogs. All right.
Whoa, too much. Nice.
You know what game that I struggle with that I didn't really enjoy that much? The first Resident Evil.
Oh wow, yeah, no, yeah, right.
I played the second one and I absolutely fell in love with the game. The first one was just so difficult to me. I'm gonna go back and play it because I want to beat it, but I struggled so much on that one. And I like it, but I struggled on. Thank you. I struggled on Resident Evil 7. It freaks me out.
Oh wow, what a shot.
Appreciate it.
All right. So, you become a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
You became a streamer, and you were just Revamped Glint on Twitch. Did you have a capture card? Or you had an Xbox, so you don't need a capture card. So you had your camera and you had your setup and blah 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 blah. What was your initial mindset as a streamer? Like when you first started streaming, what were you thinking going into it? I guess is a good question. Like, were you looking to, what were you trying to develop? What was your vision? Did you have a vision? Were you just trying it out? Like, describe the first couple months, I guess, or the first month of being a streamer.
The first months for me were about everyone else. They've continued to be because that's who I am as a person. That's how I've been raised my whole life. But I joined Discords. I joined Discord after Discord after Discord. I joined Facebook groups. I was in Twitter, learning and growing. I was in streams, right? So this one group called Road to Twitch Partner, right?
All right.
They have a requirement that you what was it called? The clutch list, right? So instead of posting going live posts, you had a clutch list, right? So when you first join this group, you have to get to know 3 streamers.
Wow.
And once you get to know 3 streamers and you're a regular and they know your name and you've gotten to know them, you fill out this form and you put your name, your Twitch link, and those streamers' names, and they have to vouch for you. If they vouch for you, you go on the clutch list, right? And when you go live, when people go check out the clutch list to go watch, you're on there as
right.
being live.
And so they can select you.
Right. So
that's sick.
Yeah. So I did that. That's where I met. I don't know if you met him yet, but Disgruntled Vet.
Yeah, I know Disgruntled Vet.
Yes.
I didn't know him. I play him in my 1v1. I have to play him in my IGL 1v1. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's where I met Disgruntled Vet.
I think that's how I met you, is because of Disgruntled Grant, maybe through his streamers. I don't know. That's crazy. Anyway,
he's a good homie of mine. My fault. I also met SnapZ. And who else? The Same Game Entertainment. A lot of people. Davari. I mod for her channel. She's a Elder Scrolls streamer.
That's sick.
Yeah, I was just in her stream yesterday and we were talking about her clips that I used to clip. That's how I became a mod in her channel. I was clipping things that she did. and she asked me if I would be a mod because she's in the army as well. She's in the army. She's in Germany,
Oh,
but
sick.
she's a really dope streamer,
Okay.
and yeah, she's amazing. So yeah, I met yeah. So my streaming was literally about getting to know a lot of people in my first few months, and you know, growing in other people's communities and becoming a part of their
Networking.
communities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
networking. But and
And
networking
so-
works best when you are genuinely invested with the people that you're trying to network with.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly. So, yeah, that was the beginning thing. Like, but at the same time, I knew about the big guys that played PUBG. One in particular that can be very, very toxic.
Right.
I don't think he's not on Twitch anymore, but he's a doctor.
Dr.
I think
Disrespect,
everybody
bro.
knows. Yeah.
Nah, he
And
ain't on Twitch.
so I didn't want his approach. I didn't want to create this persona that everybody you know, either liked or hated, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Love me or
I,
hate me, but be toxic at the same time. Interesting.
Yeah. So I just I went the opposite direction. Loving on people. There was an experience in my life where I thought I was gonna die. I had a bad trip on some a cone pre-roll.
Okay.
And I thought I was gonna die, right? And it made me revisit my foundation, how I was brought up, and I applied that to streaming. I wanted to love on everybody. I noticed that, you know, everyone goes through things, but if for a few minutes you could come to the stream and hang out and feel good about yourself,
Right.
and you know, get positive vibes, then you know, it doesn't matter what game I'm playing. It doesn't matter, you know, if I'm winning or losing. It's all about everyone else, because it is. When you first start streaming, you're essentially by yourself, and you're learning how to be a content creator, and you're learning how to talk on camera and stuff like that. Those times are precious,
Right.
because that's the growth that you need to be able to sit in front of a camera for hours, you know, at a
Right.
time, and
And to develop,
You know?
to have a core community to develop. Oh, Mindless Maze said, "Oh, what? Yeah. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it, man. If you ain't old enough to know, then don't ask."
you know, so Mindless is hilarious.
Right.
And
just-
yeah, it's been like that since day one. I wanted to be transparent. I wanted to be honest. I wanted to share the wins that, you know, we all get together, and share the losses that we all get together.
Nice,
You know.
baby.
Good shot.
There's a power, right, in authenticity.
Yeah.
And God, there's so many things I want to pour into right now. As a society, you can't, I want to start with this. You can't be an average person because everyone is unique. So you're not an average human. You're a unique human. You're just average at something, right? You're average at things. But as a society, we paint people in the light of being average individuals, and that's not reality. And so, getting over that, right? When you're marketing self, which is being a streamer or being a musician or an actor, when you're marketing self, it's so easy to get caught up in the number of people trying to do what you do, rather than look
Right.
at the number of people that are consuming what you do, right? And so the reality, when you have that shift in perspective, you begin to think to myself, I'm unique, I have a unique market, and all I have to do is appeal to that market. And it helps you, right? And then so now you
Yeah.
have the question, like, do I want to be Dr. Disrespect and form a persona and market that persona? Or do I want to be myself, improving myself, and market myself and be okay with who I am? And the reality is that both things have a fan base. And so
I honestly didn't know how much mental health was in Twitch and video games. I had no idea. That was an eye opener for me.
Right.
So when I learned that, I wanted to be.
It changed your brand, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to assist with the healing of that and be a part of that because it's a big deal, you know.
So
especially being in the military.
Right. I want to go because like you're about to go off, and I want to like segue this. So we're going from the moment at the inception and the beginning as a streamer. He's already got the name Revamped Glint, right? But now you have a moment where the name becomes the brand and it takes on reality. So like, can you point to?
Me too, Blue. Me too, 100%, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've seen on Twitch is really beautiful, and I love the communities for that. Cool. Yeah, for sure. And like, I'm glad to have discovered you guys and entered into that arena of Twitch. I think that's sick. And the more of us there are, the more we can counter. Like, we're counterculture right now, and counterculture isn't popular, but we exist. And the beautiful thing about counterculture is like it's there for people when they find it, and rather than it not being there at all. So. But I want to like, can you point me to the season, to the moment, to the time, whatever, and describe when did the renewed sense of light, the hope, the name Revamped Glint, when did that transition happen for you in your stream? Like, what happened to make you go from being a PUBG player to being the positive vibe giver, like officially? Like, I knew that like, it's one thing for your brain to be in that zone as a person, but when does that become the brand for your stream?
When that girl made a comment about my name, I promised myself I would never make anybody feel the way she made me feel that day.
Wow. And just to like re-update you guys, like, so Glint goes into a stream and this girl looks at his name and she's like, what does that mean? So she looks it up and she takes the time to say, I don't like your name. And like, she just, the way you make it sound is like she was transfixed on that. Like, that's all she could think about.
Yeah, yo, it was crazy. Every time I said something in the chat, I was like, oh yeah, I'm out. I tried twice. I came back, spoke. That second time is when she was like, I just don't like the way that rolls off the tongue. And I was like, bro.
So how does that, like, describe before, like, you were just getting wins but like, was there a noticeable change in the way you interacted with your community? And the way
No, I was always the same.
Okay.
I'm never going to change. I'm never going to change. I'm never going to change how I've been, who I've been, never. Because I'm like I'm a streamer, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not better than anybody else. I'm not. I might have more followers than some. I might have more viewers than some, but essentially I'm the same. I'm doing the same thing that millions of people do every single day. So why would I ever treat somebody like I'm better than them? Partner or no partner, I'm literally a person that gets up, cuts the camera on, and says, what it do? How are you? How can I help you? How are you? What's going on in your life? If you need somebody to talk to, let me know, because I'm here. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here.
Right.
Why would I ever make somebody feel like they don't matter, dog? Like, why? And I know sometimes partners get all this slack for being partners. Like, yeah, they but that's more of the community. The community makes that happen for them.
Yeah, the community made you a partner. Right. That's awesome.
So who am I to ever turn my back on somebody? No, like, yeah, we can have somebody negative in the chat or whatever, and that has changed. Like, we used to be so positive that at a time we would just ban, but now we talk to people. We try to see if they're okay, if they're going through something.
Right.
But if you continue to be negative, then we'll time you out. We'll try to give you chances, but after that, that just means you didn't want your day to get better, or we can't help you get your day better.
Right.
But yeah, I'm no different than nobody. Like, millions of people go on this platform and give it their best shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I will never not say thank you for a shout out. I will never make somebody feel like I'm better than them. I will never treat somebody like I did this by myself, because I can't make affiliate without the help of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Right, or partner, right? Like you.
Exactly.
Right. Add a lot of
So
people. Yeah.
I will make sure I find a way to chat. If I ever make partner and I got a lot of people in there, I will make sure I acknowledge everyone's chat. And if I don't, I will apologize for it afterwards, like I do now, because I can't do it all by myself.
And that
Never.
that is like, again, right? Do you want to? This is a problem that a lot of streamers and people with brands and businesses face. Are you gonna sell out for the numbers and be forced to uphold an image, or are you gonna be capable and like, are you gonna be okay with who you are, figure out how to market who you are and what you're passionate about and good at, and then make do with it and play the long game so that when the numbers come, you can just be you. You know what I'm saying? It's that's when my wife and I got into our relationship and we started dating. I told her, I was like, listen, be you from the beginning. Don't lie to me. The worst thing that you can ever do in our relationship is date me for 2 years, let me find out that you've been lying this entire time, and we have to start all over again. And it's like,
Right.
it's so hard to lie. Like, being honest, it's hard at times and it hurts, but it's way harder to hold a lie and then want to become honest. It's tough. So, like, big ups to you that you've built what you've built by just being you. So, and I can make the assumption that the majority of the growth that you've experienced has been because you genuinely go out and pursue people to network with, and you go into this person's stream and you talk to them and you become involved to the point where they want to mod you. So you connect with other people's communities, right? Genuinely. So I guess what was the growth quick or slow? Like, how long have you been at streaming to get to where you're at right now? How long have you been doing the streaming?
I'm at
game?
9 months now.
9 months. And in the 9 months you haven't stopped doing what you're doing. Obviously you haven't, because we're in this interview right now, and you still shout people out, and I still catch you in the people's streams that you shout out. Will be in the same stream lurking somebody, and like, so I know you're doing that.
And that's what I want to get better at, because I mean, granted, it's a lot of people, but I got there's time. You know what I'm saying? People, you know, just gotta do the small changes to make sure you get a chance to see everybody. Yeah, maybe I can't see everybody every day,
Right.
but I do generally want to come in and be a part of streams, and that's how you show that's proof that you believe in what
Right.
they got going on. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, I want to like to touch base too, like the girl that he's dealing with and the people in the community, right, that don't want to change, that you do end up banning. I have very simple rules in the new Discord that I've formed, and the last rule, the second to last rule is genuine toxicity will get you banned, but no ban is permanent. And it's this concept, like, there are certain people in the world who live like they just want to watch the world burn. Like, that's what makes their day, is making other days suck. And that's what genuine toxicity to me means. And like, we're cool with banning those people. But again, no ban is permanent. If you come out, you apologize, and you show that you have the desire to change, then we can start to make progress. So it's interesting to hear the difference between being quote unquote so positive that you ban negativity on sight, which is one approach, versus being positive and comfortable enough in your identity to say, you can be as negative as you want, I'm still gonna love you. And so
Right.
there's
Exactly.
the 3 rules: love yourself, love your neighbor, love your enemy. Obviously biblical, but the principle, like, if you can't love yourself, you don't know, you can't truly learn how to love somebody else. Because,
Man, you preaching to the choir now, bro. Let's go.
and then when you become comfortable enough to love other people, and once you've poured out enough love from your life, you start to react to hatred differently. And you come to a place of peace where it's like, you can hate me, that's fine, I'ma still love you.
Interview over. I'm done. Nah, you're absolutely, man. You listen. I've said those exact words, bro. Like, I've said those exact words the exact same way. Because it's the truth. It's literally the truth. Literally the truth. That's why one thing that I'm grateful for is the people I have surrounded myself with. I do look at the big CEOs of the world, Jeff Bezos, LeBron James, and the one thing that I admire about the two of those guys that I feel that they do incredibly is surround themselves with like-minded people and people that are better than, not better, but maybe smarter. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If you're the smartest person in the
one
room,
thing
you're in the wrong
Jeff
room.
Bezos does is he invests in know-how and some form of technology. So he's always learning and he's always ready to find the next best thing as far as tech. LeBron James is never, under all the scrutiny in the world, the most scrutinized athlete in the history of sports, has never had anything negative against him except what? His hairline, stuff like that. He gets
I'm exiting the
scrutinized
lobby.
over the dumbest. Okay. And
yeah.
that just goes to the people that he has surrounded himself with. The people that tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. So I met Blue Okami, Blue Satire, Colbert, Khaleesi Bay, the original Snow, Sammy Jack, been with me since day one. Sammy Jack has been with me since day one, streaming on Facebook, streaming on YouTube, streaming on Mixer, streaming on Twitch. You know, I do not know LeBron in real life. But I would not, like I said, I'm not a guy that goes crazy over the celebrity status, so I would treat him with respect, but I'm not going to jump on his back. But I've surrounded myself with, Blue Satire has a knowledge for the Nintendo games from the past, so I ask him questions. Blue Okami, his affiliate stream, or when he made affiliate, we were trying to get him to affiliate, knowledgeable on anime. He was throwing the animes my way, you know. Sammy Jack has a library of PlayStation games. The original Snow has been streaming. She's been streaming before affiliate was a thing, you know.
What?
So she was the person
before affiliate was a thing.
Because you would stream and then you would get partner. She's the person that told me I needed a light so people could see my face when I stream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was like, you need soundproof. So she's a mod in my channel. People that Mindless Maze, he gave us the idea for a podcast. I'm surrounded by, that's why I tell everybody I'm your biggest fan. I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth, because the knowledge that you have, the time that you put in your streams, I learned so much from you guys. That's why I'm so appreciative of the things that you
making each other better.
Help me learn.
Making each other
exactly.
better. That's crazy cool. And yeah, dude. Oh man.
You know?
It's funny because I knew how this conversation was gonna go, but I still wanted to hear like the backstory. But it's not like, if you got eyes and ears and a brain, no offense to anybody, you can figure out how Glint and how your brand has gotten to where it is. You know what I mean? And it's just, but again, we live in a society where we don't want to believe that that's possible. Yo, She-Stiff, I really appreciate you dropping in, dude.
Nice to meet you, She-Stiff. Thank you for being here, bro.
And yeah, it was good playing games with you, man. You are truly a VIP in this stream, for real. And yeah. 500 basketballs redeemed to shout out the dude Prince 123423, my dude. Yes, sir. I need to up the price on that because that's gonna get abused one day. 500 is too low for the shout out. My voice is gonna be dead. But shout out Glint, man. Revamped Glint is in the building. Shout out, you, man. He's definitely deserving of a shout out.
But this is why I call everybody my family, because I speak to you almost every day.
Right.
Mr. Wilson. I speak to Sammy Jack every day. Blue Okami almost every day. Blue Satire, Colbert, everybody. Shanatic, I speak to her every every day. Twitchy5, like this is literally. That's why I don't say community, because we literally talk almost every day.
Right. And
Sammy Jack has seen me at my lowest moments at times. I've seen him struggle with it. You know what I'm saying?
that's like,
Prince, you the family too, bro.
we don't want to believe that. I'm gonna hit y'all with one, and it's gonna hurt some feelings when they listen to the VOD. If a million people see this, it's gonna hurt some feelings. But we as a society we don't believe that everybody can eat.
Exactly.
We think if one person's gonna eat, somebody else has to starve, and that's not reality. And
No, I got you, bro.
it speaks to contentment, right? So I heard a wise person talking about jealousy versus envy the other day, and I'm gonna tie all this in. When you're jealous, you look at somebody and you want what they have. When you're envious, you look at somebody and you want what they have, but you don't want them to have it either. That's the difference, right? And contentment speaks to, right, I already have what Glint has. I have a positive community. I have viewers. I have a stream. I have time to play my game. I've got everything that he has as a brand, but I don't have the numbers. Now, on one hand, I could be mad about it, and I can be jealous and envious, or I can cater to the people that I do have, show them love and appreciation, and be content where I'm at. And I can eat, right? I'm eating with my stream,
Right.
and that's good, and that's a great thing. But if I get caught up wanting to have more viewers, I lose that, because I'm not getting enough food. I'm being gluttonous, I'm being thirsty, I'm being greedy, and rather than doing the work that's necessary to get more, I'm gonna look at somebody else's more and not enjoy the food that's in my face. And that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's why you got kids all over the world who can have a piece of bread for food and work slave level jobs and be better at them than people here who have 9-to-5s who get pissed off because they didn't get a lunch break. Which, I mean, to people need food. You know, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm just drawing a comparison, like, of the mindset. Yeah, you need to have your lunch break, and yeah. But I'm saying, like, you can't be a Karen and be a good worker, man. And if you were,
we don't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you good. I'm done. I'm rambling now.
We don't. So that's one of the main reasons that we don't talk about numbers in the stream. The only times we really talk about it, like, yeah, I do put a sub goal in my title, but that's it. It's there. We don't talk about it because it's important. What's most important is the people that are in the chat,
Right.
rocking out, having a good time, and enjoying their day, and being a service to them. You know, because they're the most important part of the stream. You know, we talk about the people that apologize for not making it to the stream in a long time and stuff like that.
Right.
It is no disrespect and there's no offense to anyone, but never apologize.
Right.
You're doing what you need to do. You're doing what you have to do, and you know, I appreciate the times that you do come in and hang out when you do have time, but I do not hold it against you. I don't feel no type of way. I'm not mad at you. As long as you're safe and in a good place, I'm happy.
It's like your best friends, right? That you don't talk to this person for years, but then y'all pick up and you catch up, and it's like you didn't miss a beat. And I had this vision for me, like this picture in my head when you were talking about wanting to make it to everybody's stream. And I got Glint, right? And he's got his list of people that he wants to raid and people that he wants to drop in on their streams. And he's going down this list, and it's a long list. But the people who really love this man, when he gets to their name and he shows up and he hits them with the raid, or he shows up in their stream for an hour, them people, they're not gonna be like, where you been, Glint? What have you been doing? Oh, now you want to show up? I've been doing XYZ. They're gonna be like, yo, Glint, I'm so happy to see you. How have you been? What's good? How's your stream? How's your life? How's your wife? How your kids? And like, genuine love versus a selfish love. Like, you can love people for what they give you, and on a whole nother level, you can love someone and genuinely care about them. And like, my hope and my prayer for you and for everybody that is associated with your community is that you will be able to continue to surround yourself with people who look forward to their name coming up on the list one day.
Well, it's definitely not a list.
You know what I'm saying,
sure.
though. Just an example.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But honestly, lately, lately I've been asking like the mods and the VIPs of the channel
Right.
if they have somebody they would like to raid,
Right.
or go visit. I'm always interested in meeting new people on Twitch. That's my favorite part of Twitch, is meeting new people and meeting new friends and getting to know other people. So I will consistently, I think it's really good to grow within and show love to the people that have been rocking with me since day one, you know. So what better way to give back than to, you know, let the family lead the raids and
Right.
introduce me to their families, you know. You
Yeah,
learned a
man.
lot about me. Yeah.
We really married out here. You didn't just marry my stream, bro. You married my family stream. You get to know my in-laws, bro. My in-streams.
Exactly. Bro, yeah, forever grateful and always humble. You feel me? Always humble.
Geo's season, what up, man? You're late to the party. I'm gonna let Glint have the last few minutes to close out. You guys, if you do have a raid, we got a good group, man. If you want to go show somebody some love, let me know. I would love to go drop in on somebody for just a few minutes before I gotta head out the door. I'm gonna just say, bro, it's been a pleasure to have you.
For sure.
And I look forward to having more conversations with you. Hopefully having you on our Rocket League group teams, and just being a part of your community and continuing to grow alongside you, bro, and support you. And to have your support, honestly, like, to have your support means a lot to me. And that goes for everybody in Glint's family. Like, Okami been showing up. I had a really fun, awesome conversation with Okami yesterday. It was a great time. And, like, it just makes streaming so much better and so much more fun. And I appreciate you guys. So, Glint, I'm gonna let you say some closing words, man. And
all right.
yeah.
Nah, thank you so much for you know, wanting to interview me. I was very like surprised, but I really appreciate it. It's another form of giving back to your family and community, introducing them to somebody and introducing me to so many cool people. And I really appreciate it. Mrs. Wilson, thank you so much for hanging out and being a part of the stream and the interview. So nice to meet you, and so nice to get to know you. So that was very cool. And just to everybody that came through, I really appreciate the love and support every day, every single day. Every single day, off stream, on stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. Blue Okami, GG, Sammy Jack, Mindless Maze. I really appreciate you. Jake, I appreciate you, dog. Thank you for being here. Everybody, man, everybody a part of Mr. Wilson's crew. I look forward to being able to see your streams and come in and hang out with you. But at the end of the day, man, it's all about love and support. She's Stiff, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. At the end of the day, it's about love and support. So if you haven't done so, a lot of cities and states are going to be shut down again. If you haven't done so, make sure you go tell somebody you love them.
Right.
If you haven't done so, make sure you hit some of your family up, your friends up, and tell them you miss them. And forgiveness is so important in today's world, because it's a known fact that if someone in your family loses their life and you don't talk to them and get that closure, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna hurt from that. So find time to forgive, find time to heal. And you know, if I miss somebody's question or chat, please forgive me. If I offended anybody, please forgive me.
If I offended you,
I apologize. Charge it to my head, not my heart. But thank you again for having me today. I appreciate you, bro.
Nah, man, the pleasure was mine. And having again, to me, the biggest value is when the community can come in and get a different perspective. So I'm always glad. Like, it's about, like you said, blessing the community. For me, like, I'm genuinely curious. I'm gonna get something out of it just because you're talking to me. But it makes me even more satisfying when other people can hear the conversation, and just being willing to sit in on other people's conversations when you're invited can give you so much. So yeah. I could just hit him with the shout out, but you already found him now, like here. So shout out Revamped Glint, of course. And we are gonna go check out the Destructive Gaming TTV. He's playing Madden. I don't know what kind of person he is, but we're gonna just go do what we do and show the man some love. And this time I will push the stop streaming button, so when it's over you won't come back and find my room camera on for no reason, bro. That's crazy. So thank you guys so much. We'll close with a little reading from the Book of Mindfulness, this last quote, and then we'll roll out. By the way, for those of you guys who haven't seen the cover, it's a little cactus. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, when you have the constant focus of going within and then acting, your life will unfold in magical ways. Wow. That's interesting. Let that marinate.
Hey.
Alright, yo. Let the raiding party begin. Bang. I made the same mistake last week. Oh, God. Have a great day, everybody. I love you. We love y'all. And we hope that, you know, you find success.
Sammy J, thanks for being here, bro.
Man.
Appreciate you, dog. Love you, bro.
All right. Bye, everybody. It's all.
Cold appreciate you popping in, dog. Appreciate
Yes,
you. Don't even worry about it, man.
We're gonna drop the VOD in the Discord so you guys can rewatch it.
I appreciate you coming through anyway. You feel me?
Yeah. So.
You know that.
Bye bye. Oh, Daybreak.